Welcome back to Ultimate Combat Radio.
It's a sad segment.
I feel like I just got broken up with or something.
Colbert minutes ruined.
This segment is brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds.
Because things like this happen to people.
Oh, man. So we try to get Bill. Okay, here's the deal. All right, here's the deal. Colbert Report. It's time for it.
The Colbert Minute.
We thought we'd made friends. There was an administrative hearing. Finally, there was a resolution. And on Tuesday, I officially got my promoter's license back. And first of all, I do want to take a real serious moment for a minute. And I want to thank all the people that we've had an overwhelming show of support in terms of people that have been calling and messaging us and saying, they're happy to see us getting back in the game. And even some fighters that I didn't expect to hear from. So I want to throw out a big thank you to that. Looking forward to getting in and working with some of you guys again. So there was a meeting, and they granted my license back, and Bill's genuinely seemed willing to work with me on getting some dates secured and in the coming months and so on. And they actually took away the club protocol that we've talked so much about on this show that they didn't want, they were charging extra fees that were aimed at me.
One of the mic rules?
Yeah, they rescinded them. So that was a great sign. And then the best news of all, certainly an indicator that either the sky is falling or a world is coming to an end or there's been a shift in the attitude with the commission. Robertina, I want to give you the honors here.
I am so proud to say that Bill Colbert and Mike Stidham are friends on Facebook.
Bill friended me on Facebook. He friended me.
But you might want to check again. You might be.
I might have been defriended because I made his friend request my profile picture. And I didn't do it to mock him. I did it to say, look, man, the war is over.
The universe
The
is
South
shifting.
and the North can once again ride harmoniously together and, invoke justice upon the rest of the world. And that's, really the way I felt about it. Until my world just came crashing in, because I wanted to put Bill's friend request to the test. I wanted to invite him on the show and talk about what the Colbert Report was meant to be. The Colbert Report, when I first designed it, was to have Bill come on and talk about some of the things that the commission do. Because to be completely honest with you, it's hard sometimes to understand why they do a lot of the things they do. But I know there's got to be another side to the story. And I really, I can't say always, but a lot of the times I felt like they were doing it because they felt it was the right thing to do. And sometimes on face, it just didn't look like that. Well, we called Bill. Will called Bill. And in fact, I requested on Facebook that he come, and he didn't respond. So Will called him, and he said, I'm not interested in the Colbert Minute. I don't even care that he turned us down. He didn't even say it right. It's the Colbert Report.
I would be honored to have a
sad.
segment around me.
He's not interested in the Colbert Minute and, I have better things to do, he said.
He's commissioned.
Really, Bill, what?
So-
what else are you doing right now? Watching The
this-
Simpsons?
Does this mean there is no other side to the story?
I don't know, man.
You just-
Apparently, I don't know. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to try to, look, if Bill doesn't want to come in, I'll see if I can get one of the other commissioners to come on.
Why
I think
don't
Taylor
we-
Levitt would be great.
Why don't we go to Bill?
I've tried that, man.
No, I mean, do a live remote at Bill's house.
Let's do it, man.
Bill's office.
Let's set up the set right in front of his house and do it.
The Colbert Minute will come to him.
Yeah, if you won't come to us, we'll come to you. Now, there were several protocols that I wanted to talk to him about, and in the last meeting, what's kind of funny? I want to tell you a funny story that Brandon Kaiser shared with me. At the last WCFC event, there was Bill Colbert. They started a little late, an hour and a half, and. That would have my show would have been canceled at least 45 minutes prior to that if it were my show back in the day. And again, hopefully they're just changing their tone. But Bill Colbert went and told all the fighters, "You need to come in this room, and we're doing this pre-fight meeting right now." And some of the guys says, "That's room's pretty small. We can't all fit in there." And Bill's, "Don't you talk back to me. We're going in this room." And Jeremy Horn comes up and says, "That room's too small. We're not going in there. Everybody else go upstairs." And Bill said, "Okay." So when Jeremy spoke, it meant something, and they went upstairs and they had a great meeting, and everything was hunky dory. But there were some things that were brought up in the meeting this last week that Jeremy Horn and Jen Howe opposed. They not adamantly, but they said, "I don't really know that I like that rule." And so you know what they did? They said, "I would like to have some public comment on this. Let's have some public comment and maybe take the input of the public into account and go from there," which seemed to be a little bit of a shift from the past demeanor or the past mindset of the commission. So I thought, this is pretty cool. Let's have Bill come on the show and tell people how they would go about getting that public input to us and how they would go about getting us the information that we are seeking. But Bill didn't want to do that today.
He's busy.
Now, he's probably busy counting all the cash that he's making because we learned his annual salary is $107,000 a year.
Unbelievable.
More than twice what his predecessor made.
Speechless.
I am too, man. There are jazz players that don't make that. I don't know. And it's such a simple job. And if you don't have time to come on the radio, if you got more important things to do and you're making $107,000 a year, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's move on. I digress.
Next.
Josh Vanderveur. At the first of the show, we were all excited about him coming on the show, and then we got a little deflated because he wasn't here, and we're excited again. We're all back up. Bill Colbert kind of took a little wind out of ourselves, but Josh Vanderveur, if you don't know who this guy is, he's the prophet. Not the prophet you guys are used. That's his fight name, and he's the guy that's been around for a while. He used to fight in the show a long time ago, and I have to say, he was a little pudgier then. And and he was one of those scrappy fighters that came in and brought it. He was always he gave you a good fight, but wasn't the most technical fighter. And he went away for a little while, and he came back, and he didn't look like he's half the man he once was. It looks good, and he's won some big fights lately. Josh, first of all, how are you doing, man?
Doing great. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here as well because you and I have had some disagreements. We've had some but we've had some disagreements, right?
Yeah, we have.
But you're here. Why? What are you doing here?
Well, it's a great show, and I wanted to come and pump up the SteelFist Night. And
you're a good guy.
Yep.
Okay, so
two good guys talking together. There you go.
Anyway, I got to correct you. I think he changed his nickname, didn't you?
Yeah, it's the Fighting Dutchman now.
The Fighting Dutchman?
I knew Stidham was going to fight me on this, though, because he gave out the...
he's the prophet.
The prophet is what he's giving me, so...
He's the prophet, man.
What am I going to say?
How many nicknames have you given to people?
Oh, everybody in my show pretty much has been donned a nickname.
We're fighters. We can't count that high. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. So, Josh, first of all, what happened? What transpired? What happened from the time where you were the kind of pudgy guy and tough, but coming back and now this guy that's just beating everybody?
Well, it's a long story, but it slipped vertebrae in my back. Took me out for 3 years and just did all the physical therapy that was necessary, and it finally clicked. Everything was getting into place, and now I'm back in version 2.0.
All right, very
Nice.
good. Well, now where is 2.0 training? What are you doing?
I got a new management team. Fight Club's my management team. They got me up at Kingdom Club with some really great jiu-jitsu with Charlie Mann's my jiu-jitsu coach.
Charlie's awesome.
Oh, he's amazing. He's top level.
Hey, if he grabs your hand, you're not getting it back. That guy's got literal vice grips on the end of it.
Well, and his jiu-jitsu is so simple yet devastating. That's what I love about it. It's not complicated, and it just gets right to the point.
It's Bayless Jiu-Jitsu, by the way. He's a Walt Bayless guy, and I'm telling you, Charlie probably weighs 135. He might have gained a little weight now, but when I used to roll with him, he was 135 at most, and literally he grabs your hand. You're not getting it back until he wants to give it back to you.
Yep.
Okay, Charlie's teaching now. Who's your fight management team?
It's called Fight Club, new management team on the scene, and they.
Who are they?
They Troy and I'm kind of losing the names right now, but
Okay.
That's terrible. They're gonna chew me out. But
they're your managers. That's
they're
right.
they're throwing a team together up at Kingdom Club, and we're just kind of scouting out people right now. It's me and Eli Bice right now.
Well, you just beat Eli Bice's butt.
That's how I came in touch with them. So
I gotta say, I've made it's interesting. I've made some very, very close friends, and the first time we ever met was punching each other inside the ring or inside the cage. And so, I get how that is. You guys have bled together, you sweat together, close proximity, and you get outside and you have a beer, and you're like, hey, man, let's partner up.
Well, I had a lot of respect for him. He actually had broken his finger right before the fight, and now we're using our brains about it. And I've told him, look, you're going to back out of a fight in the future if your hand's broken because we're strikers and you can't really.
So you're the thinking one of the pair.
If you could call it that, and you want to call it that.
What role does he have? Is he the looks? Is he the charm? What is he?
He's the looks, the charm, and he really drives me hard in the
good.
gym. He's a very good guy to train with, and he's got a lot of potential. You have not seen the Eli Bice yet. You will see.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I got a phone call this last week who somebody had heard that Eli Bice was back on the scene. Tim the Pimp got knocked out by Eli Bice back in the day, and he said, I heard he's back fighting. I want it.
I saw that fight, and it did get called early. I will give Tim that.
Okay, well, so Tim.
But if Tim's back on the scene, he's got to go through me.
Tim hasn't trained at all, but you look at him, he's training.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor. If Tim comes back on the scene, he's got to come through me.
You got it, my man. Well, listen, we're going to put that together. I'm going to get Tim the Pimp and you, and Tim the Pimp and Eli Bice. We're going to make marriages, all kind of stuff. So you got a big fight. Johnny Kafer, when's it going down?
It's going down September 9th. SteelFist throws a great show. It's going to be, the house is going to be packed. I think they're going to have 1,200 people there, just all crammed in there. It's going to be electric. And me and Kafer, I think, are going to be the fight of the night. We're going to be all bloodied up and beating on each other.
I love it. We're
both ready to go all 3 rounds. I know it.
You're getting me excited, man. So
I got Damon up at Wasatch CrossFit getting me in shape. So my cardio is going to be there, and it's going to be a very good show.
All right, brother. Good luck, man, and I'm looking forward to that. We'll get you guys more information about the SteelFist fights as we get closer, because we're going to bring John Kafer in next week, I think, and talk to him. So good luck. Great having you on the show, and thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, we got more Ultimate Combat when we come back.